I know most people know, who you are and what do you do, but sometimes we have first-time people that have joined the broadcast. And so could you just quickly, tell everybody who you are and what do you do?
Yeah, my name's Gabriel, and I've been doing some business for DigitalAircraft for this company for a couple of years now. Some sales and marketing as well as some blockchain research, and just been really diving deep into what companies are doing today in regards to blockchain, and looking at technical analysis of cryptocurrencies, and that's what we've been doing so far.
Yeah, and I brought Gabe into this conversation. Of course, you know this from the beginning because of his passion for for blockchain and for crypto and for NFTs. And so, Gabe, I want to continue that conversation briefly as we get started here today. And hey, before we do that, I see we got a lot of people checking in, and let me just acknowledge a few people out there today. We have Kieran who's joined us. Kieran, great to have you with us today, Kieran. Kieran is actually one of my guests on Friday with the company Real Variable, where they have that blockchain solution, and I think you're going to want to hear, about that. I have Ahmad, joining us today, and Ahmad, we've had some conversations since this broadcast started, and Ahmad is in the UAE, and I'm excited to engage with him. He and I are going to have a few conversations next week. And then have my business partner, Larry, out there in Seattle. And Larry, thanks for joining. And I hope to have Larry back on the broadcast again, sometime soon. But hey, if you're out there, check in. Let me know where you are, and I want to recognize you. Hey, let's jump into some conversation, Gabe. Gabe, we've had a couple of people on the broadcast that have brought NFTs and utility NFTs, and we're going to kind of focus on some of that today. All right. Can you re-explain to people watching out there today, what is a utility NFT, specifically focusing on utility? What does that mean when we talk about a utility NFT?
Yeah. So just, if we're going to go over this again, the utility NFTs, such as we had TravelX come on, and we had Air Baltic come on, and they both had NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that had additional value tied to it that was, beyond the dollar cost of the NFT, besides the cost of the token that can be sold on OpenSea or the open market, that can be sold and traded, beyond just that amount, that the value, the dollar cost value. It's got some sort of other value, such as loyalty programs, loyalty rewards attached to it, or special access to different situations. TravelX, TravelX was using the NFT non-fungible token
as a ticket,
right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
There's plenty of different utility NFTs out there, and they're being, we've got a lot of different use cases that are coming on. So there's I'm excited to see what else we do, aside from the aviation industry. So
no, it's really great. So I get what you're saying, Gabe. And when we talk about an NFT, many times people look at NFTs as, a collectible or as an image, and there's a lot of them out there in the industry that are just that. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But most of them. But in addition to that, people are now attaching utility to the NFTs. Now, we had some people on earlier that talked about how they're attaching records to NFTs, and they're actually using it to maintain the history of records of aircraft or aircraft parts.
Right.
We have people like TravelX that have come on, and they're attaching a ticket to it. And so, utility, again, means that it has some function other than just being a collectible, not that it doesn't have value, and so we're going to talk more about that. Hey, listen, continuing to recognize people. Hey, Ahmad made a comment. Hey, Ahmad, I'm really sorry. I knew that you were in the KSA in Saudi Arabia. I visited Jeddah many times, and so I apologize. So thanks for joining us from Jeddah. I've been to Jeddah so many times. I really love the people there, and I appreciate the people and just how friendly they are, and it's just great. So thank you for joining us. And then we also have Dan Kastorf. Thanks for joining us, Dan. And I appreciate you being here and watching on the broadcast. So thanks for joining, everybody. Hey, let's continue down this discussion. So listen, Gabe, what is getting you really excited about the industry today? What's going on today? I know that's a little bit complicated. Let's just have a little bit of analysis conversation about the industry. Is it, crypto's up, crypto's down, stock market's up, inflation's up, down. So how does all of this and our ability to be able to move forward with blockchain affect? So how do those factors affect our ability to be successful in blockchain? What's happening in the industry today?
Well, so blockchain and crypto, right? They are tied together, but you can have blockchain without crypto. But cryptocurrency specifically, the market is it's been down. We all know that it's been down for a while, but companies continue to work with blockchain and blockchain technologies, and Like I said, unfortunately, the market's down right now. But
hey, this morning, Gabe, it just shot up because of the CPI index and the employment numbers from yesterday, and so there was a little bit of a leap there. So
right, a little bit.
Yeah,
but
it goes up and down, right?
In the long term, right?
Yeah.
We've got it's pretty much down right now, right?
Of course it is. Yeah,
It
right.
is.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so,
yeah.
but this, I find it as an opportunity. People always saying to buy when it's low, right?
Buy low and sell high. Yeah, right.
But that does have risks.
Yeah.
So I think that dollar cost averaging and just doing your own research on what's going on out there, and knowing which companies are using what cryptocurrencies and what's being used in real world use cases, I think it proves a massive opportunity for anybody that's been looking.
And Gabe, one of the things that you and I always do is we're looking at the signs around us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
We're looking at what's happening in the industry. Where are things going? What's happening? And one thing I can tell you for sure is that blockchain is taken off in aviation. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I know that is because we have so many companies that are evaluating it and are implementing it and are actually implementing real world production level solutions,
right.
Surrounding blockchain in aviation. So that's a sign. All right.
Yeah.
It's just not going away. People are implementing that technology. Now, from the financial world, you and I have talked this week about a few other things happening out there in the last few weeks, that tell us that, hey, maybe there's some growth coming in the near future in the crypto and financial world. What were some of those things that we talked about?
We briefly touched upon how BlackRock is now working with partnering with Coinbase. So
yep.
Institutional investors are going to be able to, I can't remember the platform, Aladdin, but they're going to be able to invest in different cryptocurrencies now. And we've got a few other things that I don't know. We had like a $3 billion Bitcoin buy the other day.
There was an anonymous buy, I think yesterday. Somebody bought $3 billion worth of Bitcoin, I think yesterday, anonymously. And that was like 144,000 or something, Bitcoins. And so, and then, Warren Buffett, right? Warren Buffett, he had invested in a DeFi bank in South America previously, and he doubled down and he doubled his investment. And he was a naysayer. Yeah, he was always a naysayer. He always said, he said, I wouldn't buy all the Bitcoin in the world for $25, I think is what his quote was. All right. Okay. Something like that. All right. So anyway, what I'm trying to tell you is that we need to look at the signs around us and what's happening, and don't ignore what's happening in the world. We see companies implementing it. We see growth. And even though you might hear, oh, it's down, it's risky, and only less than 20% of the people in the United States are engaged in cryptocurrency, it is growing. There's just no question about it. Blockchain is a foundational element of where we're going in the future, right? And so, Gabe, let's talk a little bit about our business and DigitalAircraft a little bit, okay? And in DigitalAircraft, we do three main things, all right? We do digital transformation consulting. I have a team of people that do that. And we do project implementation for digital transformation. I've done that for many years. We do contract sales and marketing, and we also do some mergers and acquisition kind of work, right? And so as we look at our business, I continue to ask myself, is that how do we grow the business? Everybody wants to, right? Economy is up and down, inflation is up and down, and we say, how do we grow our business? How do we leverage what's happening around us? And it's no different than if you're in a business where you're saying, how could I leverage technology to be able to help grow my business? How could I create efficiency in the travel reservation system? How could I create efficiency in parts and asset management? So we're looking at how we can leverage technology to create efficiency. And so what we're doing as well is we're saying, how can we leverage that in our own business? And so, I'm excited to tell you that what we've done is we're bringing together blockchain and some of the new innovative ideas that we've seen, and we're combining that with our business. And we're going to be providing a utility NFT as well. And we're bringing that into our business to do a couple of things. And I'm really super excited to be able to tell everybody about it today, because we're going to give you a sneak peek. Don't go away, because I'm actually going to show you, some of what we have. Now, as part of that introduction, I'm going to bring in my next special guest, which I tell you again is a very special guest. And let me go ahead and just bring her in. We'll bring her in over here right next to me in the studio. There we go. And fantastic. Yep. Here I have Rachel. Now, Rachel, what's your last name?
Schultz.
Rachel Schultz. So
Schultz.
yeah, the Schultz clan. We in fact have my daughter Rachel here today. And some of you might have actually seen her on a broadcast that I did a couple of years ago, because we featured a broadcast called Women in Animation, not Aviation, Women in Animation. Rachel, tell everybody who you are and really what do you do, okay?
I am working at a large animation studio right now, and currently I'm an animation supervisor on a TV show that is streaming on some platforms right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fantastic. And you know, I know some people have asked me in the past what you do and a little bit of history. And you know, maybe could you just tell people a couple of the different projects that you've been involved in the past that you think people would find interesting?
Sure. Yeah, I've worked a lot in creating TV, and so I've worked with a lot of big companies, animation companies, and animating for their shows. And I've also worked for some gaming companies. And when we had our broadcast a couple years ago, we talked about The Last of Us Part 2 through PlayStation, Sony.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I've worked with Sony, Xbox, done some stuff for Nickelodeon, and a lot of different.
Yeah. If you'd like to know more about Rachel's history, I took the liberty of putting her IMDb, you know, database out there, and it says the different projects that she's worked on. But you know, she's done work for Nickelodeon and for Halo, and you actually did some work for Facebook back in the past too, right? I think,
yes.
Yeah, she did for Microsoft and Halo, and for Sony PlayStation, and for other big studios. And you can take a look at them in her IMDb. But my point is that, you know, we brought Rachel into this project because we wanted to do an NFT project. And Rachel, just tell people a little bit about what we did. We wanted to bring some commemorative or collectible art and combine it with the utility of our business. And so what did we do to be able to go out and find, you know, some really collectible kind of art and designs?
We found some really amazing artists that we could work with, and we picked the best designs for our NFT collection. And we had a really big response on who wanted to participate and create the designs for us and work with us. And we found currently three different really amazing artists that have created the start of the creation of our NFTs
collections. Yeah. And Rachel, I know that you have you know, a desire to be able to recognize artists and their work, because that's always a challenge, right? Is that, you know, artists don't always get recognition for what they do in their art. And so tell everybody a little bit about really what your passion is to be able to recognize artists and their work.
Definitely. We're going to be recognizing them, each of them, through their work by giving them a little bit of different recognition as we sell the NFTs, and each person will receive royalties through the selling of the NFTs. So we definitely want to keep the artists in mind and honor them throughout this process.
Yeah. And so we're intending to make certain that it's not just our business that is part of this, and we're not just promoting our products and services, but we're giving back to the industry, and we're helping artists and people that are involved to be able to, you know, get value from the things that we're doing. Now, you know, why would we use an NFT as something like this? Well, I have a couple of, you know, initiatives that have got me to be excited about this. Is that one, you know, Gabe and I, we really like crypto and NFTs, and Rachel and Gabe and I have been talking about doing a crypto project or an NFT project for a couple of years now. And we were trying to find the right place and the right opportunity to be able to do that. And as we headed down this journey of exploring blockchain and aviation, we decided that we could leverage that within aviation and create a utility NFT. And so that's why we brought these, you know, particular things together. And Rach, you know, we've learned a little bit about NFTs and about how in the industry that they become valuable and become, you know, a little bit collectible. Gabe, you brought up the name TravelX. Now, TravelX created an NFT connected to what?
To tickets,
A ticket.
tickets, yep.
A ticket. And they sold the very first one. And tell everybody kind of how that went down, what the process of that was.